Social factors include everything from the LGBTQ plus equity to racial diversity in both the executive suite and staff overall, and the inclusion programs and hiring practices. It even looks at how a company advocates for social good in the wider world beyond its own limited sphere of business. And to further elaborate on the ESG scoring system, is calculated on a scale of 100 points. The better a company performs in fulfilling different ESG criteria, scores may vary among firms, which may employ different metrics and weighing schemes. While the specific factors assessed vary by company, ESG rating firms commonly review things like annual reports, corporate sustainability measures, and board structures. So these investors are essentially looking for companies who are taking the responsibility or the initiative when it comes to environment, social, and governance of communities and the industry within itself. So many of these clients are very concerned about the environment, social problems such as climate change leading to more and severe climate crises, gender and racial inequality, data security, and privacy. They want to make sure that they don't invest in firms that exacerbate or contribute to these problems, and would rather invest in those who are championing the ESG movements. And this is why you're starting to see a sudden shift in our video games. It's because that these companies want that ESG investment, and they want to have a great social standing in the eyesight of these investors in order for them to get these ESG investments. So now that you know what the deal is, Sweet Baby Inc., Anita Sarkeesian, they are just a small part of what the actual problem is. It's the ESG investments. There's so many incentives for these companies to go out in order for them to gain more investment from these kind of investors. And this is where the gaming industry is impacted the most. This is why, if you notice, Sweet Baby Inc. started in 2018. If you notice, all the games, even though Anita Sarkeesian came in at 2014, she set all this up. But you notice a radical shift, a dramatic shift in how games and how diverse these games and the inclusion of LGBTQ just skyrocketed around 2018.
YouTuber formerly known as Masterboard 666, the Omega, the Sub of the Performer. Welcome to the channel. That right there, shout outs to Muga Lord. He was explaining about how this ESG thing works. I'm here to talk about that and companies like that, Sweet Baby ESG, the whole 9 yards. They very impacted gaming in a negative way, kind of a complex way too, because it's all about the dollar bill, the agenda that they push. They want to force, feed you into believing and conditioning you. When it comes down to the writing, the characters, storyline, the women, how they look, we see that. It seems like gamers, you can now point that out, that companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and ESG, they had their hands on them. You can cut it. And I said this many times before, even in my original channel, back in like 2018. I said gamers they're gonna have to be picky when it comes down to buying these video games, because it's a lot of stuff they're trying to push within these games, and they hide it behind diversity and include everybody, but it's really a cop out. It's all about the money. It's all about getting their dollars. They don't care, hey, that'll be straight. You know what I'm saying? If the game that they contributed on doesn't sell, they got their money. They got they they pay. They can just drive off to the sunset, while the actual game itself fails. And the gaming developers, they're in a bad situation. So, there's stuff that, we consumers out here, we gamers out here have to look forward to. And that's why, when I was talking about, the gaming industry and whatnot, I wanted people to know and spread awareness of how, the gaming industry works. even while I was talking about it on a surface level, because a lot of these companies think gamers are dumb. They think you're dumb, okay? And I know most gamers are not dumb. You have to be, from now on, you have to be way smarter than these companies that's trying to play the middleman when it comes down to like getting these games, made. Because they're pretty much the middleman. And it seems like they're not going to go away anytime soon unless you support games that are independently developed more and not really support games that they had their hands on. Boycotting, it's not gonna really do much, but we have to make some noise and we have to like say, yo, we gotta take them out with our wallets. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna have to take them out because they're doing this, like I said, just to push an agenda. You know what I'm saying? Try to rewrite history. And as they're doing it, they're really rewriting history. Know your history about the gaming industry. And that they're pretty much scaring developers. They're pretty much scaring developers, with certain practices of what they say and what they're going to do to these companies if they don't comply to their standards as they're making their games. Sweet Baby, ESG, and all of them. They're part of the problem. They're really part of the problem, and this is why some of these developers, some of these gaming companies sell out, because it be some context in the game, like you be thinking to yourself, why is this here, or why is this character this way? This character wasn't like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, they want Lara Croft from Tomb Raider to be a lesbian. She's not a lesbian, okay? They want to change the narrative of everything. It's crazy in the hood. And we gotta put a stop to that with our wallets, man. Like, you can tell by looking at a game that they probably had their hands on it. You can tell. And like, listen, I want y'all gamers to be smarter, and know about the industry, because they will take advantage of you. Shoot, gaming developers need to know too, because they're taking advantage of the gaming developers a lot more and getting their way because of their practices and their inorganic way of including doing diversity and all that. It's not real. It's not genuine. They're meeting the quota. They're getting social credits, meeting a certain criteria, to do those things so they can get paid, man. That's all there is. It's pretty much, in a way, it's like they're taking games out, pretty much especially Japanese games, okay? We already got the Western media games, but they really want to devalue the Japanese or foreign developed games. And they're gonna try it. They're gonna try it. But here's another thing too. Since, they're impacting on the gaming world, what if they impact society as a whole? You ever think about that? And it's not just games, it's not just video games. Society as a whole to, have an agenda, to us, and force behaviors on us and condition us to do stuff that we shouldn't be doing, or is not natural of doing. It's not natural to do at all. You have to think about that too, because the gaming is the start. That's probably the easiest market to get into. But what if they ruin society in general? You gotta think about that. And I'm pretty sure companies like Sweet Baby ESG and others like it are the main ones that want TikTok banned right now. They trying to ban TikTok. The House passed it. It's up to the Senate if they want this to be done. So, since you're not getting money off of TikTok because it's a Chinese company, you want to like, okay, since you won't sell it to us, we're going to ban it in the US. But if you do sell it, you do divest, you can keep TikTok. That's what's going on right now. And I bet they got something to do with it. I bet they got something to do with it. You know, it's the government too, but some of these companies like Sweet Baby, ESG, are being, you know, backed up by the government. You know, I'm just making an educated guess. Okay. And yeah, man, gamers out there, we consumers in general, we would have to try to fight this some way or somehow, because if you allow something to happen, it's going to continue and continue to the point where you can't stop it. You can't stop it at all. We, like, whatever they going for, whatever they try to do with their nefarious actions or on a certain business, we have to nip it in the bud right then and there and put them in check. Because they got gaming. They got gaming. They got the gaming down a lot, man. They're the middleman. ESG is Sweet Baby, and no, they're the middleman. How are we gonna stop them now? I mean, slowly we can, but it's gonna take a while. Like I said, you gotta be smart with your wallet. You gotta be more picky when it comes out to these video games. I know I have, because I like my Japanese developed games, because or games that are like not even Japanese. They're in other foreign countries that's not. They don't want those type of companies get into their business and get into their products by it being altered by them because they say so. That's some things to think about here. But again, I want y'all gamers to be smarter about this business and find out what's what. Know your history, because you probably gonna believe the rewriting of the history. It ain't true. Know about the facts. That's all I'm gonna tell you about that. You know, because most of the average gamers just know about the end result. Oh, it comes out on this date, but okay, what's the process? How's it coming out? And that's what I'm gonna be talking about on this channel when I talk about gaming. Which I have before, because you know, I was talking about Microsoft. But yeah, let's have a discussion about this. Leave a comment down below. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do a variety of videos here. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.